this green stake to that green stake with the yellow and white on it. To that green stake. To that green stake. Is 1/4 of an acre of land. That's going to be our main stake, the yellow. Is about 6,000 square feet. And the white represents the smallest yard in a city or town, usually under 5,000 square feet. So this area behind me is going to be my apartment size balcony, 4-foot by 9-foot area. This is going to represent that what people may have to grow in an apartment. Apartments, they may have a deck that is usually or typically 4-foot by 10-foot. They may have a balcony, which is typically 4-foot by 9-foot, or they have a fire escape, which is 3-foot by 4-foot. This is what people have to grow in, minus in their home, in apartments in the city. Now, why am I telling you all this, and why are these measurements important? And I could have come on this video and told you, you know, 1/4 of an acre is this much, this many square feet. You know, or 1/10 of an acre is this many square feet. But a visual is much more handy to me. Why am I telling you all this? Because growing your food, it does take room. It doesn't matter if you have a spare room, if you have nooks and crannies in your apartment, if you have a 4-foot by 10-foot balcony, if you have a 4-foot by 9-foot deck, or vice versa. I think it doesn't matter if you have 10,000 square feet, not including your home. You can grow food. Main thing is, do not get discouraged because of your lack of land. You don't need a whole lot of land to grow a lot of food. For example, the Gervais family from Path to Freedom, I believe that's what it's called. I've been following them for a very long time, for years. They live in Pasadena, California, like right across the street or right down the road from the Rose Bowl, I think it is, some kind of big stadium. In California, they live on 1/10 of an acre, and they grow 6,000 pounds of food a year. They use every space. They have ducks, they have chicken, and I think the last time I watched them, they had goat. But they was a family with 3 children and the father. They was selling at restaurants. They was riding their bike to take their things to the farmer's market. They was living off their land almost completely on 1/10 of an acre. That's inspiring. Now, what does one person need to plant per person to know that they will have enough food to at least get them in the seasons that you can grow. And then we're not talking about, canning a whole bunch. You get your hands on a whole bunch to can, do it. I mean, anything. Fresh vegetables and fruits, just can them. But growing things fresh for yourself, I started a list of things that we like as a family here. Now, we was a family of 5. We had 3 kids, 2 adults. That quickly went to 2 adults, and then 2 more adults, and then a baby. And now it's back to just 2 adults. So it varies on how big your family is. But I just can a lot and I grow a lot because we have the acreage to do so. But I made a list of everything that we like as a family and went through and know that, for instance, you need to know that if you like asparagus, you need like 5 to 10 plants per family member. So if you have a family of 2 and you're wanting to get enough asparagus for fresh eating, you're going to plant up to 20 asparagus crowns. Bush beans, get 12 to 15 plants per person. Carrots, you need to like 50 plants per person. Cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, 2 to 5 plants, depending on how much you like or dislike a vegetable, will depend on how many or how less that you as a family collectively will eat. Peppers, you need at least 3 to 5 plants per family member. Now, all this is per family member. So if you have 6 in your family, you're going to take 3 to 5 plants per family member. If you've got 6, then you're going to plant not in it. You all really like peppers, so we're going to go to the higher side of 5 plants per person. So you're going to plant 30 plants. You're going to plant 30 pepper plants so that you will ensure that you have enough for your family. Squash and zucchini, 1 to 2 plants. Zucchini, I always err on the side of caution because they do produce a lot. I go with 1 plant per person. Onions, at least 20 sets per person. Tomatoes, at least 2 to 4 plants. Like I said, again, depending on how much you like it. Leaf lettuce, go with 25 to 30 plants per person. Cucumbers, if you're doing the bush kind, you want maybe do 2 bush and 1 vine if you have the room for a viney plant. And then, of course, your bush beans. I didn't include peas because pea is a very big plant for very little. But if y'all like peas, do peas. And I'm sure it would be about the same amount as the bush beans, about 15 per person in your family. Your passion for growing food will bring your success no matter how much land you have to grow in. Of course, you live in the city, you live in an apartment, you live in a townhouse, you don't have much land. You can grow in containers, you can grow food in flower beds, you can do edible landscaping, which is beautiful. Most of the times it's just beautiful. And then, of course, if you live in parts of the U.S. where you can grow all year long, you're going to be able to yield more food for your family than, let's say, if you live in, Pennsylvania, where they get 8 to 10 inches of snow at any given time and can't provide for their family because of the snow unless they're planting indoors. Now, all this information I've given you today is not counting the indoor space you have in your home to grow anytime. All you need is a few simple lights to keep the sunshine going on your plants, to keep them growing so they'll keep producing. Like peppers are self-pollinators. You do not have to pollinate them. If you're going to grow a tomato in the house, you're going to have to catch that and pollinate it with a Q-tip or something. Zucchini needs pollinated, you know. Cucumbers need pollinated if you have the room to grow that in your home. For each family member, you need to have to grow in 200 square feet for each family member. This year I think we totaled up a little over 2,000 square feet that we are growing in and that we grow in. But mine, like I said before, we had 3 kids and 2 adults. That's 5. So if you divide or times 200 square feet by 5, that's why we had the growing space, because we needed it. I understand a lot of y'all don't have it, but if you can figure out how to grow food without more land, now's the time to do it. All the links and descriptions of everything that I have talked about in this video, if I found it somewhere, I will link it down below. So I hope y'all have a great day. Get out in this beautiful weather and grow something. Y'all have a great day, and y'all come back.